Hello, nice to find you here. Um, I'm in the middle of a project of following the notes I've taken with experimenting round paper beads. That's the measurements I'm doing, 11 to 8 millimeters. These are all millimeters, and 8 to 5, and then 5 to 0, but I might leave it 5 to 1 millimeter. Anyhow, I've already started measuring stuff out, but I just wanted to let you follow on what I'm doing. Alright, I'm just using ordinary magazine paper. This is the colour I want for my little round beads. In this magazine there was an image which I objected to because I don't want that in any of my jewellery. There. Stuff like that I don't want. So I don't mind chucking them. They are not worth rescuing, in my opinion. Okay. Now, let me see. What I do, I've just done a few measurements here. Where are we? This is my ruler. I'll be working the bottom one. You can do a similar principle with your inches if you work better in inches, but I can't work in inches. It's not something I've learned. Right, now I'm going to measure out. I'm not sure if you can pick it up. I'm getting a lot of glare on the screen. Instead of moving my ruler, I just move my paper around. I've done my last measurements. This one was the 5 millimeter to either 0 or 1 millimeter. Okay, so I'm going to carry on measuring from this point here, the last line, and I want 11 millimeters. So it doesn't matter what part of the ruler, because each has like 10 millimeters. Okay, and what I will be doing, if I want 11 millimeters, I'll count 10 and 11. So I'll be putting my line of the last mark of my paper on that section, which makes it 11, and then I have the 11th millimeter on this, more obvious. I don't know if it makes sense. It makes sense to me, and that's the way I'm working. So I'm putting it on the 11 where I have shown, and then I'm going to go there to this large line, and I mark it off. My pen is getting a bit gloopy. Let me clean it up a bit. Right, and then I write down 11 on here, and then the next one, it's easy enough. You want 8 millimeter, so I count backwards from the line I've made, because this is on the point, on the digit. So I want 8 millimeter, so that's 10, 9, 8, and then that's where I make the mark. It just saves me putting the ruler back and forth, and then I write the 8 on there, and then I turn this around. Okay, now I did 11 millimeters, and I want to go down to the point of 8 millimeters. So to do 8mm, this is, I don't know if you can see it, this is the line. So I'll be putting that on the line of the 8mm, and then just a sec, no, not this side, cancel that one. I'll be putting it, let's go right down to the 0, and then I'll be going to the 8mm. I am trying my best to work with my chronic fatigue on my brain, so everything isn't a struggle, but I get bored doing nothing. So I write the 8 down there, and I've made the mark there, and I've made the mark there for the 11 and the 8, and I like to face it that way, just making sure you can see everything if it's in frame. Right, it's a bit smudged. I like to put it this way because I can see the line of the ruler, which is harder to see otherwise. And I'm using pen because the pencil, it doesn't show up very well. And then I can see the line, because sometimes the pen doesn't register on a paper and I need to be able to see it. So that's from 11 to 8mm, and now I've got the 8mm already marked out, and I want from 8 to 5. So to create the triangular strip from 8mm there to 5, where I made the last line down here, I'm not sure if you can see anything. Right, there is the line I've made last. Okay, and I'll be putting it on one of those, there's 5, 10, 15. It makes it easy because the lines they're very long, and it's easier to register in your eye. And then I go to the 5th, make the mark, and then I write down 5. Okay, now I need another 5 for the triangular points. So because this is already in 5s, I'll go to the next 5th. I won't need to write that down because that'll go into triangle. So I'll be turning it around that way because I need to see it. And the reason I like to turn the ruler upside down is it definitely follows the line better, because if it's like that I can accidentally put the pen in and out and the line is not straight. That's how I feel. You might have different experience about that. So I'm just on the line there and just on the line there where I've marked it off. Okay, and I'm going from the 8 to the 5th, and here from the 5th I'm going to go to the point, but I like to leave a little, so I just eyeball it to give it a millimeter. It's not much. So that's it. That's what I do. Right, I will cut the pieces out. I don't think you need to know how I cut them out. So I'll put you on pause and cut them out, and then I'll roll them with you. Alright, see you in a moment. Alright, I just got one last one to cut out. Which one bead takes 3 strips, and then I will be using the 2mm paper bead roller. That's it. I can see better with the ball pen. Fingers are a bit filthy. Right, where are we with my bead roller? So I've got my bead roller and scissors. Right, I've written down on the bottom what they are. This is the 11mm, but what I like to do, even though it's very subtle, I just cut the corners just a tad, not a lot, stop them sticking out. Okay. Millie's lying in a box. I never know what she will do. Okay, so let's see how this turns out. Oh, just a sec. Sometimes the beads, the paper, wants to slip out of the, so you just add a little crease, make it a bit thicker. It stops the paper from rolling out of the slot, because I like to hold it with a little bit of tension. I don't know if you can see it, you're a bit far away from there, because I wanted you to be able to see how I measure my paper, how it works out. But that's my workstation here. I have that board, and I could design everything, even make my jewellery on here as well. I have a bigger board, but it takes a little bit more effort to pull it out. So I have this one. I'm just putting a little bit of glue at the end. Rub it in a bit because it's only touching on a spot. Right, that's up to 8mm. Let's find the 8mm now. That's the 8mm. That goes, where are we? That goes just where that line is. That's where I'll be putting it. And just put a bit of glue on that. Yeah. So I'll be sticking it on there. Can you see? Just let it set, and then I start rolling again. I just like the blue cover of the magazine, but the back cover I didn't like. I think sometimes it has a bearing on how you feel about your jewellery. You don't want something morbid in your paper. I don't think so. nice and bright, cheerful, nothing violent, nothing horrific. You want to have confidence that what you're wearing is pleasant. Okay, to me it's like finding mold in food, to have something so horrific as a topic of serial killers. Who wants to wear that in their jewellery? Some do, probably for Halloween or something, but to be honest, I don't celebrate Halloween anyway. There's too much badness in the world. I like to concentrate on the positive, the things that bring peace in your life. Don't know if you can see it. Okay. That was the third piece, by the way, the 5mm. You never know what you get because nothing is accurate, because I don't use a Cricut machine or stuff like that. Everything is hand cut, so the shapes of the beads can vary, but that's the bead number 1. Okay, I mean it's not perfect round, but it is round enough. And there it is. Shall we do another one? See how it turns out. Let's cut the edge a bit, even though I might have to fold. It just depends. No, this one seems to behave. Yeah, because everything is cut by hand, measured by hand. It doesn't turn out perfect all the time, but if you got a good paper cutter where the blade is beautiful and sharp, of course it will make your life easy cutting it, but I believe you can sharpen your blades by cutting aluminium foil. You sharpen your blades of the cutter. Maybe it depends on the type of cutter. If it's I don't know, some material you can't sharpen, like my husband says, stainless steel you can't sharpen. So it all depends what you're using, I suppose. Still got some glue on my finger. I'll use that and go to the find the edge. I can't see it. Here we are, I think. All right. Got glue stuck on my finger, sticking on the paper. Not that it matters, it helps stick the paper down. All right. It's a lovely turquoisey blue. So I'll make nice beads. I've picked, these are free magazines that they distribute in shops and some charity shops. So I pick up 3 or 4 magazines, which means you can do more than 3 or 4 beads at a time with the same colours. Okay, now the last one. There it is. Yeah, I don't have the technology where I can zoom you in, bring you into close up. I'm just working from my trusty tablet, a cheap one. I just share with you what I do, how I do it, and if you can learn from it in spite of my inferior technical gadgets and stuff, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? I've learned a lot from videos. They weren't technically perfect, but the explanations and everything was perfect. There you go. That's a little bit rounder, isn't it? So that worked. So you never know what you get, even though you try your best to measure everything. There, that's that one. Ooh. Okay, I'm fighting with the light off the window, and one is a little rounder than the other is a bit more cone shaped, but it doesn't matter. Would you like me to roll the third one and see how that turns out? It's just to show you that you don't get hung up about it. I mean, if you can tweak the measurements, it all depends on the paper too. I mean, this is not too flimsy, this paper. I mean, some magazine papers, they're very thin. So you might get different results with the paper that's a little thicker than this. You adjust the measurements, play about with it, write it down what you've done. That's what I did here. That one was the first one from fellow artist, crafter. There, I've written it down, and then that was my attempt to make adjustments, and it was still not quite as I wanted. And then this one, I'm most happy with that at the moment. But again, it depends what the paper is. I might have to make adjustments again. And I know this one is for thicker magazines, better quality magazines. And if you use thinner magazines, you might have to have the first strip a little smaller, if you don't want big ones anyway. Or you might need 5 strips instead of 3. You just You just don't have to be so precious with paper. I mean, if you can pick up magazines for free, shops have magazines to promote their stuff, so they're ideal to pick up. They're for you to pick up for free, so it's not like you're stealing or anything. And see what you come out with. Oh, and yes, I wanted to show you, only if you were interested, nobody's responded, how I cut my other paper. It's like a barrel bead, and I just cut a little triangle from the middle of the barrel bead, and I can show you if you like. And then got lots of glue stuck on my finger. Alright, that'll do. It'll stick down. What I can do is cut out a strip, because I don't need to measure it, just for the purpose of showing you what I do to create those beads. Okay, I can do that quickly. Oh, this is a nice bead. I'm pleased with that one. Alright. Nice. Look at that one. Isn't that nice? Perfect. I mean, to me they don't need to be perfectly round, but just reasonably round. Right, I'm going to save that one because I like the blue. I want to do some more. Here we are. I just used this. I've taken the staples out from the middle. Right, I just take it down. Okay, so that we know what we're doing. Just a sec. Right, here we are. So we'll be working, measuring it from there to there. Okay, let's say I'm going to do where's my pencil? I'll use my pencil if I can find it. No, I can't find it. Never mind, I'll use my pen. Okay, where are we? I'm going to do 15. Yeah, I'll do 15 millimeters. Okay. And right, that's on the 15. And then just mark it out. Make sure it's marked out. Right, it doesn't have to be exactly the middle. 15, say it's about 7, yeah, 7 millimeters to get the middle, the center of the barrel bead. I'll do about 7 estimation. Okay, I'm doing that for a reason. Because I'm only doing one. I'll do it here as well. About there. The reason I'm doing that, it helps me to mark out where I want to cut. I don't want to cut all the way down, okay, because I need to know where I put my ruler. So let's say I'm just going halfway off the strip, about this length. Okay, because the other mark on the bottom there is just a guideline where I put my ruler. Alright, and you can choose wherever you want. I just put it there. You don't have to put a line there, it's just so you can see. So it's just so we know where the middle is of that. This is going to be the barrel bead, and this is going to be the triangle. And what I will be doing, where I've marked out the middle, I'll be going to that corner from the middle and mark it out there, and then go to the middle again, go to the other corner and mark it out there. Okay, so that's all marked out. Can you see that? That's how I marked it out. Alright, so that's what it should look like. And then I cut it out. I'm not sure if, yeah, you can see me better here, can't you? I hope you can hear me. I know I go quiet a little. I do apologise for that. I forget myself. Okay. Just follow the line. There we are. Let's put that away. And now I want to cut out the triangle piece. And go to the middle. And then go to the other corner. It helps when the scissors bite the paper, and then you get control over it. And then you go to the middle. And that's what I mean. I don't throw these away. What I do is I cut the corner pieces there, turn it around that way, and then these end up beads as well. Alright, so this is the shape we've got now. Okay, that's the shape. Now where is my roller? I don't want the ink showing. Right, where's my ink, glue pot? Right, the slot. And then this is going to be the barrel. I hope you can see it. I don't put any glue on anything yet because it'll only get messy. And then I just focus on one triangle first, and I'm working on the left side, so I keep it to the left of the edge there, and just keep rolling because it's been cut that way. Make sure I don't. Right. And then I just keep rolling it till it's glued down. Yeah, that's that glued down. And now the next one. So the right side, I do the same, but instead of keeping it in the middle, because it's been cut in a V shape, we're rolling this to the left now. No, to the right side. Okay, that's the left, that's the right. And stick some glue on. And then just stick it down. And that's how I do it. I don't know if it's showing up. And that's how I do these shapes. And let's roll this. And I will roll this one as well, because they make lovely beads too. Okay, so you don't waste anything. Sorry. There we are. And this was from the middle. There. See that? But they make nice beads, don't they? Interesting beads. Oops. There. Right, now I've shown you how I make those. Okay? Any questions? Don't hesitate to ask. I'm happy to have a go to explain the best way I can. In the meantime, have a go yourself I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Have a happy crafting eventful time. I'm going to have a go at doing some more. Alright, thanks for watching and bye for now.